So I want to talk about what we've done. And I want to talk about what we've done not to boast, but just to show you what we can do with so little. Because this first year was an absolute hot mess in everybody's lives. But through it all, we continue to love others. Because that's what helps me get out of my funk. When I'm lost and I need direction, I go straight to trying to find somebody who I can love on. And we just tried to recreate that through Marion County. And throughout, we kept facing these walls and we kept facing these challenges. To the fact that one time I was so frustrated with God, I didn't know what to say. Everybody I talked to, why am I so angry with God right now? Why is that, Rondo? Because it seems like the devil's kicking so much butt, man. And for somebody who's all powerful, why is it so hard to do ministry? Why is there so much pain? Why is there so many kids that need hope and faith and guidance? Help us, please. And each and every time, God stepped up little by little by little. One lesson I've learned is to pray through this COVID times as Mojo's is getting shut down and I'm freaking out, not knowing what's going to come. The only thing I knew was to pray for the eyes, to see what good is coming out. That's a promise, right? Everything is going to work for God's good. I know it. I believe it. He said it. So all I can pray for is what good's going to come out of this? What good's going to come out of this? Something my buddy Charlie McGuire said, what's God working on? I heard that 6 years ago, and I use that almost every single day of my life when something comes up strong or wrong. What we've done in this short amount of time, we've landed FCA in all but 7 schools that were on our target. That was within months. We were able to give out 200 complete Thanksgiving turkey dinners to any athlete who needed Thanksgiving dinner. From the turkey to the pumpkin pie. We meet Christ where the kids are. And we fill their needs. It's impossible to tell a kid, hey man, God loves you, then why am I hungry? Why am I going through abuse? Why will nobody answer the call? Why do I feel alone? And if you don't meet those needs, if you don't take care of those things first, they will never believe in God. They don't want to hear it. They know fake, they know false. These kids today are so much smarter than anything I can even remember when I was a kid. I chased 2 things as a kid. Sub sandwiches and women, girls. Wanted to have a girlfriend and a sub sandwich. After that, I was happy. As an offensive line coach, if my offensive line coach would take me to get a large pizza at Pizza Hut, on Wednesdays, I'll run through a dang wall for him. That's all I knew. We were able to hand out 900 Bibles. 900 Bibles, hand personalized with the scripture to every single student, every single athlete who needed one. 120 football players gave their life to Christ. That's amazing to me. We had FCA Empowered, which turned into a hip-hop / worship group / altar call / freaking out that I was going to tear down First Assembly of God. And I want to say thank you personally to the offensive line from Trinity Catholic because you saved my life that night. See, we had a hip-hop artist come up and he started rapping, and next thing you know, he invited 500 football players to come up on the stage at First Assembly of God. And all I can think about is what I'm going to tell Pastor Jeff Wade that happened when I wrecked all his equipment and the stage collapsed. So I grabbed hold of Jake and Caleb and those guys. I don't know if you remember that or not, man, but I grabbed the back of your jersey, man, like I was a running back, and I said, hey, man, hold the line. Hold the line. But later on that night, we had at least 60 football players give their life to Christ. And I was sitting there with my boy Joey Vaughn, and he was up on stage with me, and as we're doing the altar call, I was just crying. And I said, please, just one. Just one. Come up to the stage. That's all we're here for. Give me one, God, please. Whether what seemed like about a half hour went by, nobody came. And really, it was only a matter of seconds. But when you're praying for one, it just seems like an eternity. And then one kid from Lakeward High School, Yannick, was brave enough to go up there in front of every football team in Marion County was there. Hundreds of football players. And one kid, because of his courage, stood up and walked to the front. And then another student from Lakeward High School came up and said, I'm not going to let my buddy be there all by himself. And next thing you know, the floodgates absolutely opened. If you look at the flyer, I don't know if you guys have a flyer or you'll see it around. You'll see a picture of it. It's not there. It's the one that we gave you guys. I'm sorry. You guys got y'all looking on the tables. You'll see a picture of all the students in front of the altar and Derek Ponder praying and other chaplains praying. And that's the perception of what we're trying to accomplish here through FCA. All summer, we were able to feed these kids, man. We were reaching out to Kevin Camp. I said, bro, I just need some cheeseburgers. Please, I need cheeseburgers. Reach out to Sonic's, McDonald's, anybody who would give us any kind of a deal to make sure that these kids had what they needed so we could keep them together. The deaths. We talked about KD. That was tragic. KD had an impact on 3 different schools. He's from the Lake Weir area, so all the kids at Lake Weir really loved KD. He played at Trinity Catholic, so all the Trinity Catholic kids really loved KD. He was going to Forest. All those kids already loved him. He has such a wide reach. A lot of our kids played 7-on-7. He was just a part of, all through MCYFL, he's just part of what it was. And we all have our last memory of KD. I remember KD standing by the locker. And I was kind of bummed out at him that he was kind of clowning a little bit. And something in my heart said I need to go over there and talk to him. Something in my heart said, go say something to KD. And you know what I did? I said, I'll catch him on Monday when I see him. And guess what happened? Monday never came for KD. And I missed that opportunity. That was something that will always stick to me. But one thing I'm very grateful for is for us to be able to mobilize our chaplains into those teams. That's the first thing we did. If you're a chaplain, if you're one of our team chaplains today, can y'all please stand up for me, please? Thank you. We were able to mobilize them into the locker room. See, back in the day, right, we think about our chaplains. Our chaplain was just some old guy that came and prayed with us 5 minutes before the game, and we never saw him again. That's not what we do through FCA. Our chaplains are in the locker rooms. Our chaplains are in the weight rooms. Our chaplains are traveling with them on the bus. Our chaplains are on the sidelines. When a kid gets upset and wants to throw his helmet and get all cussing off the field, our chaplain immediately reacts to show that kid how to act, to help that kid learn how to cope with that disappointment or whatever he's upset about. And you guys, I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for everything you've done. We fed the guys. Vanguard sadly just lost a player as well. And for us to come along Vanguard and to be able to help provide and help these chaplains minister to their team. These kids are 15 years old getting shot and killed. See, a lot of times when we talk about FCA and church and all that, we can talk about how God is great and there's a message, a good feeling message. And I'm here to talk about desperation. I think you've heard desperation in everybody who spoke today. And the way God is shaping up, I hope you guys see what God's doing through FCA. I hope you guys see the people and the places. You guys saw the chaplains that stood up. You guys see administration. How long have we been praying for God to be back in the schools? We've been praying for it. We've been pained over it. With this new political climate, right? We all say, well, that's what God out of here. That's God out of here. Wish we have God. See what happens when we take God out of schools? And here we have principals promoting the faith at school, helping it happen. We have excellent people like Grace who we want to bring on staff. We have all these pieces that God are putting in our lives. We've been praying for it. And here it is. And it's going to be foolish for us to waste it. So we're asking for your help. We had to have this breakfast. Mike, there's no way in the way I'm going to be done in 2 minutes, bro. You know I'm a Cuban guy with a microphone. Baptisms. I absolutely love baptisms. One of the kids I got to baptize is here today. Caleb, stand up, buddy. And I won't go through Caleb's story, but Caleb has a great story of perseverance. Caleb's had to go through some things that any child should not have to go through. And for him to turn to God, and not only turn to God, but use that. Guess what happened the next day he got baptized? He brought 2 to church. I'm proud of you, man. I love you, bro. Even though you're pain in my butt most of the time. Where are we going, right? Where's FCA going, right? What do we need? We want to continue the things we're going. We want to continue the path. The hamburgers and the cheeseburgers and the popsicles and the Gatorades. Those sound like small things, but they're really big. But because it allows us to share the hope and faith in God. I was that kid at Lakeport High School who lived a very godless life. I dropped out of high school. I know who he's talking about. I know the despair. I've seen prostitution with my own eyes as a young kid. I've seen the overdoses that he's talking about. These kids are dealing with it every single day. We want to train all the coaches in 3D coaching. 3D coaching is teaching the coaches in Marion County to have to win the heart behind the jersey. Before you can coach these kids nowadays, you have to win their love and their trust. No more can you be that hard coach anymore and say, hey, if you're out the team, you're late. It's not, you really can't even raise your voice anymore to these kids. You have to win their trust. You have to win their respect. And we want to open the eyes to the coaches how important it is to win a kid spiritually before you can even coach them. Before you even show them a football, you got to win their heart. So we want to train every single coach on every single team in Marion County in 3D coaching. And that's going to happen. Why? Because God put great people in our lives to make it happen. God put our county AD, Jody Phillips, actually did 3D coaching. So he's a believer in what 3D coaching can do. He's here today, and that's amazing. Thank you so much. I didn't know you were right in front of me. Thank you, buddy. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to put people on staff. We're doing these amazing, amazing things right now with very little. Just the fact that this room is packed in our first breakfast is a testament of God's glory. We've been praying for God to be in our clubs or to be in our schools. We've been praying for God to show himself. We've been praying for the church to get out of the 4 walls, haven't we? If there's any idea or there's any example of the church outside of its 4 walls, it's FCA. Just like Coach said, somebody met me where I'm at. COVID has moved the way church is being done. Youth pastors, I know we got a lot of youth pastors in here today. We need your help. We need you outside of your 4 walls. COVID has caused us to just change things. The world today has caused us to change things. And thank God we have FCA to be able to do those things. How can you help? That's a great question. Your time. If you have time to volunteer, maybe you have time to run a huddle, maybe you have time to run a group. We have a guy that's a retired golf professional that just wants to go chaplain the golf team. Just your time. When we go to feed people, we go to do Night of Champions. Advent Health is hosting Night of Champions. We want to have all the teams in there and just have a powerful night and powerful speakers. Michael Barrow, I'm a big Miami fan, go Canes, is coming up to speak. Michael Barrow, for you Florida State fans, that's a guy who nailed Tam McMahon over. Michael Barrow, God's great. He's coming up to speak, to breathe life into these kids and share his story. That's amazing to me. But we can't do that without your help. Thank you for First Baptist Church for hosting that as well. Talents. Well, I don't think I have many talents. We can pray. Take back what you heard today and put those glasses on of who might want to be a part. Maybe you know somebody. Hey, I don't have time to help, but I do know this guy, he might be able to help. Or this person might have this resource. Those are talents. Treasures. Those speak for themselves. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you don't know anybody who can help. Or maybe God's blessed you where you'll be able to help us out. We can minister. I will tell you, the dollar that you give today is going to put a smile on somebody tomorrow, if not later on today. Everything stays in Marion County. Everything goes to our kids. And I'm a part of a lot of charities, and there's some fantastic charities here in town. And I know most of the charities here in town are just hurting because of the fundraising, what COVID's done. But I will tell you, the impact that FCA can have is absolutely amazing. The chief called me last night. First of all, that wowed me, right? Who would have thought as a kid that the chief would call me? Who would have thought 6 years ago the chief would have called me for something good? But yet here it is. The chief calling me to encourage me about this morning. And I looked at you, I called Chief, I said, you know what, man? And we laughed, we joked about it. I said, please pray for a great breakfast for the sole purpose that I want to put you out of business. And it sounds funny, and it sounds like a joke, but I'm serious. We have to raise strong children. I know we're pained by what we're seeing in the world. I know we're pained. These kids are not thugs. These kids are not punks. These kids are doing what they're perfectly designed to do. They are taking what they know. They are taking on who's impacting them and multiplying it. And unfortunately, we're losing to the world right now. The world is winning the impact battle. So I ask you guys to please consider helping today. In front of y'all, there's a handy dandy card. It says time, talent, or treasures on there. Not really, but in a kind of a way. Maybe you just want to volunteer. Maybe you just want to hear a little bit more. We encourage you guys to fill out this card today. I need your help. Come here real quick, if you don't mind. I'm going to treat you guys. He doesn't know it. But before we close, will you do me a favor, man? Do you remember when Meadowbrook's power went out?
Yeah.
Do you remember that song you led? Can you lead that this morning? Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to close real quick. You stay right there. And then we're going to invite Noah. He's going to close out in a prayer. Before I close, guys, I want to say, I look around, man, and I want to say thank you, guys, because everybody that's here today has supported us already in some way, somehow. Just the fact that you're here this morning is amazing. Thank you for putting the call that God put on your heart. Thank you for always believing in what we do. Thank you for always supporting me personally. Thank you for the love and the prayers. And most of all, I cannot wait to see the impact of what a completely FCA running on all cylinders is going to do in Marion County. It's going to wow you, it's going to amaze you, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Imagine having Grace's attitude in all 20 schools. Imagine all the coaches with Grace's attitude. Those are the ones who are winning the kids. So we're going to close in a couple verses of that because that song just drives me crazy. And I'm going to invite Noah up and he's going to close out in prayer. I want to say thank you. I love you and God bless you guys.